Michael Jackson had blown through hundreds of millions of dollars. Broke, he was banking on a huge comeback tour to claw his way out of debt. Cracking under the pressure, Michael was secretly taking powerful drugs to help him sleep. Less than 2 weeks before his first show, something went badly wrong.
So, on June 25th, 2009, Michael Jackson was rushed to UCLA Hospital after a phone call was made that he was unresponsive at his home in Beverly Hills. And on that day, Michael Jackson passed away.
Michael was pronounced dead shortly after arriving at the ER.
When I heard Michael had passed away, I thought it was a joke. I didn't think it was real. I thought that this was his way to get out of this tour. And then when I realized that it was real, it was just the worst moment of my life. I was devastated.
I'll never forget the day Michael passed away. And I said, LaToya, what does it mean he's gone? She says, Michael's dead. He's dead. And I was shocked. I was just like, the world didn't know yet. The world didn't find out till like 2 o'clock, but we knew at like 11:30. And that day was just chaos. It was chaos. I mean, nobody could say a word.
It was a huge shock to hear that Michael Jackson had died. The reaction around the world was stunned and heartbroken.
After hearing the sad news, Jeffrey Phillips headed to Michael's home.
I went to the house the day he passed, and the coroner said, hey, if you find anything inside the house, any drugs or anything, I said, Michael's not on drugs. The family did know that there was medical issues with Michael. They did know that he was taking prescription medicine. They knew nothing about the propofol at all. Everybody was shocked by that. Nobody knew what propofol was until Michael passed from it. And you know what? I'm the one that found the bottles in his bedroom when he passed. I went to the house the day he passed, and I found this doctor's bag with all these bottles of milk in there. Looks like milk, it's all white. So I called Ed Winters, who's the coroner. He came over, and I showed him what cabinet was in. They opened the cabinet, pulled out the doctor's bag, and they pulled out all these bottles of propofol.
The autopsy report confirmed that propofol was to blame for Michael's death.
The doctor left the room after giving an infusion and was not monitoring Michael. The doctor had done this for 59 other nights, but on that 60th night, he wasn't watching and Michael died.
The fact that Dr. Murray was giving this to Michael Jackson outraged people because he is a medical professional. He should not have been giving a drug like this to a man who had so many medical issues.
As accountants and lawyers poured over Michael's estate, there was another shock in store.
But what's even potentially more crazy is when we find out that at the time of his death, Michael is $500 million in debt. People are, they don't understand this. How could someone who made so much money and lived so large be so, not just like a few $1 million in debt, but $500 million in debt?
He had created a life spending money on the biggest and best things possible, that there's no surprise that he was in debt when he passed away.
Michael died in huge debt, but his passing triggered a small miracle.
After he was pronounced dead, something immediately happened with Michael Jackson's image.
So in a morbid way, dying can be very lucrative for a celebrity. Right after his death, Michael's CDs and songs take over all the charts.
You couldn't go anywhere without hearing a Michael Jackson song.
He ends up selling 50 million records. So it's unfathomable that it is so wildly successful that he's not here to see it.
They've gone through hard drives that Michael left behind that had his music. Music we never heard before has been finished and released.
It's kind of ironic, Michael actually makes way more money in death than he did when he was alive.
It wasn't just the back catalog that was pulling in the money.
His estate sells the ATV catalog.
Michael's estate, they were able to make a lot of money after he passed away because they no longer had Michael to deal with. A lot of times he wouldn't listen to them when he was overspending. Him not here, they don't have to worry about that anymore.
The financial turnaround was remarkable.
Michael Jackson's net worth, years after his death, is estimated at somewhere around $1.5 billion.
I think that if you're that famous and that successful, this is a cautionary tale in that you need to have good people around you. You need to have people that you trust. You need to have people that have your back all the time, that aren't just in it for money, that don't just tell you yes because they know they can get a car out of it.
The day Michael Jackson died, I think that's when it sunk in how special he was. And Michael Jackson's creativity and legacy is with us forever.
I think Michael is looking down on his estate and smiling to see that so much money is coming in, to see that his kids are taken care of, his mom is taken care of. They never have to worry about a thing. And Michael